Welcome to Hangman Tarot. We're going to get started with our celebrity tarot reading. We're going to find out a little bit about our RHEA, I think is how you say it, CHAKRABORTY. She's a Bollywood actress, but she has a really interesting story, so I thought it would make for an interesting tarot card reading. It was a request from Lily, so thank you. That is a subscriber of mine. If you want to request a celebrity, please go ahead and leave a comment, or in the details, all of my social media is in there, all the information, so if you want to get a hold of me that way, that is perfectly fine too. Please hit subscribe to Hangman Tarot when we start here. So I'm going to find out a little bit about this celebrity through tarot card reading, but I just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of what I know about her and her story. We're going to find out her birth chart real quick here, and then we're going to go into her story so that I can express that. And I will be tagging this, time tagging this, so don't mind me. Okay, so basically, what is it? Her ascending sign is a Virgo, her sun sign is a Gemini, and her moon sign is a Gemini. Okay. Born July 1st, 1992. She was born RHEA Chakraborty. Sorry if I'm butchering that, at 12 o'clock. In Bangalore. Oh no, I don't know anymore. Okay, I just really don't. I just don't know anything today. What the? I think that said the same one. Virgo ascending. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to go over her story really quickly. So she did some films. She's done some Hindu films. She had a career as a VJ on MTV in India, and she had an album, films, again, appeared in quite a few of them. So basically, she was accused of this actor that she was seeing. She was accused of the suicide. So basically she was accused of defrauding him, and it looks like mental exploitation also. So it's almost like adding to the suicide, maybe, or encouraging it. I'm not quite sure, but she also had to face massive online trolling. However, after staying quiet for a really long time, in August last year, she actually opened up a little bit, and she talked about Sushant and their relationship. So the two of them had a relationship, and he committed suicide, and she was a large part of that, according to the authorities. They kind of accused her of that, or whatever it was, and she was his girlfriend at the time of his death and was accused by his family of abatement of suicide, embezzlement of his funds. Among other things, she was also arrested on a drug-related charge in the case and spent nearly a month in jail before actually being released on bail. So I believe she's still out on bail. I'm not quite sure. Apparently she's, kind of become a little bit of a worn person since the jail time. It really kind of crushed her soul quite a bit, and I'm sure, especially if there's a death and then you're arrested for it, it's just like, excuse me? Like, what? Did this just happen? Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of a pretty gnarly story. Like, I was like shocked that this was actually happening. She pleaded for her bail, and she was rejected by the court on October 7th, 2020, and has been granted bail by the Mumbai court, while her brother is still in custody, though. So her brother must have had something to do with it also. I'm not quite sure, but that's really intense, especially if somebody has just committed suicide and you're having to go to jail. And again, I don't side on any party here. I am the tarot reader. I'm just giving you the story. I find it interesting. I'm not like, I love this person. I'm just going over the information. This is, and kind of information to make, you know, the reading a little bit more. So, in July 16th, she introduced herself as the girlfriend of Sushant and demanded that there be an inquiry from his home. And this was rejected as a demand, apparently. And the police, I guess, are capable of, they'll investigate the case completely and thoroughly, is apparently what this has been said. But after getting approval from the central government, August 5th, 2020, the Supreme Court allowed the probe into Sushant's case. And RHEA had demanded interim protection from the Supreme Court, but this demand was rejected also. Jiminy crickets. And she's been, I guess she's been cooperating in every investigation. So they raided her brother's house too. And apparently drugs had a lot to do with it. Anyway, I don't want to get too involved in the information, but I just wanted to give a little skimming of the story. I thought it was interesting. So Lily, the subscriber of mine who requested this, just kind of wanted to get a little bit of an update, just kind of find out her romance status, family status, career, just where she's at. Just genuinely, you know, curious. All right, we'll get started. All right, so we're just going to find out about the celebrity, just a touch, just a little bit, and go on an overview of her love life, her financials, her spirit, and her health, of course. So we're just going to find out a couple defining moments from this last, you know, maybe just year in general, and just kind of find out where she is at the beginning of this month also. So let's find out a little bit more here. Hopefully this tells us more. Why are my cards not cooperating? This is just one of those days. It's just the phone keeps going off. I keep dropping cards. I just can't say anything. I keep mispronouncing everything. I said something really inappropriate in my last video. Did not mean to, but it was funny. It's just one of those days. Okay. It's a heavy reading already. I haven't even started. That's probably why I'm like holding off here. I usually do that when I'm intuitively like kind of nervous, and I just don't realize that I am nervous, but I'm like, ugh. You know, these, you know, it's already controversial, I'm sure. So doing this reading is a little scary. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is there is definitely a shifted perspective. So she's definitely been changed. The first card that comes up is the Hanged Man. So that is just showing me that she has surrendered to a different point of view. She has surrendered to the fact that this perspective that she used to have on things, have on life, or even the story in the midst of whatever's going on, she has a shifted perspective. So she might have thought something previous and now it is completely changed. So it is indicating the ending of a relationship, or the energy of this relationship is in reverse. So this relationship, this joining together of two people, this connection, this love thing, is no longer. It's definitely something that lacks any more emotion or expression, and it's very it would be an unreal expectation to think that this is something that she still deals with, which it is not. Again, because something has changed, something has completely left as far as like making a relationship or making a family in general, if there even was a relationship. But this is just indicating to me Three of Cups, Two of Cups in reverse. It's just indicating to me that all of this shit, all of, you know, the abandonment of the relationship, even the growth, the lack of growth, and the choices that needed to be made, or the decision that was made that changed fucking everything, had really put her into that hangman energy, which is a different mindset, completely different perspective. Something has changed, shifted, and now she's very still. She's very surrendered to having to let go of whatever the fuck was going on. I mean, obviously, I can feel this. It's really fucked up. I can feel very sad, very sad. I got chills everywhere. Damn it. This is just insane. So we're going to find out her challenge, the most challenging thing of her past. And this card that I just dropped, which I keep dropping cards today, is the Knight of Cups. That is upright. So something in the past was that anything that she had going on, she kept it going. Especially love. She really loves love. She loves the idea of being in love. She loves the loyalty, the connection, the honor, the tradition of it even. Okay, I just draw more cards. But Seven of Cups upright is just that's just indicating that delusion. Even if there's not a delusion, even if this relationship was watered down, or this situation that she was, where she was really trying to use her love mind and her heart mind, or whatever, however you want to call it, she was coming from a really good space. There was no boundaries, though, if that makes sense. It was limited for sure, and it definitely had unreal kind of expectations, or something else, kind of bizarre was happening. And so it's like, how can you really expect this to be a relationship? How can you expect this to be love for anything? But it was definitely watered down. So that, kind of the solution of it, or the knowing of it, was not ideal. There was nothing ideal about it. Yeah. And the two of them were very like-minded. And don't take that in the means of, because, like when people, navigate towards one another, they're usually on the same frequency, or they, have a like minds, or they're into the same stuff. It's just something brought them together, right? So something has, there's something even that's bringing a like mind. Whatever it is, she was definitely loving the love. She wanted to be in this strong, committed relationship. Again, it was very delusional of her to think that this was an actual loving relationship, especially in the place that she might have been. Because there was an immaturity, overly emotional, even, her or him. I'm definitely thinking. Yeah. So he would have been the overly emotional one. He would have been the more impulsive, a little unpredictable. Again, I don't know this person. I'm not on a side here. I'm just reading these cards. So it just indicates that, yes, they were like-minded. She did want this to be a relationship. She was a little deluded, thinking that this would actually happen. So it was not something that was going to happen. Yes, they were mind alike. They had something in common here, but they were very different at the same time too. Okay. And even though he for some reason, he couldn't show these really amazing things about him. He had willpower, strength. He's very intuitive. He's very passionate. And they probably had a lot of passion together, which she probably thought was love. And his was more of a physical thing. He really brought his temper out more or less. And he was a little wild. So he showed a lot of those things versus all of these really cool attributes that he had about him. A challenge that is present for her now. So of course, right now, presently, this moon in reverse just indicates to me that there is a huge struggle here, but everything is underneath the carpet and it's being swept underneath, and nobody's actually seen what the fuck happened. Okay. I'm sorry, but when my brother committed suicide, I honestly thought to myself, whose fucking fault is this? Whose fucking fault is this? I would blame it on his wife. I would blame it on the Navy, because he was in the Navy and I thought maybe they fucked him up. I would blame it on my parents. I would blame it on, his drug dealer. I would blame it on people around him. I would blame it on the people who were at his funeral. I would blame it on me. Suicide really brings about, if we can't understand this, somebody should take responsibility here. And I don't ever talk about my family on here. I don't talk about myself, but I feel this weird connection to do so. So there may be a struggle here and there may be some really fucked up things going on, but I really believe that a lot of the shit that we put the blame on other people, a lot of that has to do with the fact that we can't blame the person who's dead. We really can't, for all the pain we're feeling. And I really feel this way. I do. I feel very, very strongly about this, actually, because I'm a hanged man. That's why I named my channel Hanged Man. My brother hung himself. I understand a shifted perception. I can see differently now after, you know, the story of my brother happened and it affected me greatly. I don't struggle to see the right and the wrong. I used to. But that brought about a different part of my life and it brought about a different way of seeing things. And I know I don't want to get too involved in that, you know, this story, but I do know that I really wanted to blame somebody else except my brother. But it was him. He killed himself. His wife didn't, his family didn't. You know, his drug dealer didn't even do it. His, you know, he may have been on drugs, but his drug dealer did not do that. Did he facilitate drugs? Yeah. But I mean, my brother took his life. It was nobody else. As badly as I wanted to put that blame and responsibility on somebody else, I would still be grieving. It wouldn't change a fucking thing. I would still not have my brother. So I think what I'm getting from this moon in reverse for me is there's misinterpretation. There is lack of looking at the fucking truth. It's all about like, let's just pretend we can't see shit. But the truth will come because the light always comes, whether you like it or not. Okay, the moon card is the struggle, but there is so much shadow. There's so much things that are not being seen here that maybe instead of just like hanging out and you're like, just, you know, it's fine. But I mean, what about looking at something else? What about we shift the way we're seeing this? Because there is a lot of things that are not being seen here if this card is being pulled up, especially, you know, in this struggle. Okay, moving on. So sorry, I did not mean to get off task, but I really had to relate. I don't normally do that ever. And I am going to do a tiny talk on why I named this on 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to go over my story and I just haven't, but this is really bringing up a lot of remembrance of wanting to fucking, you know, make somebody else get the blame, right? Because my brother's not here, so I'm gonna fucking blame you because I'm mad. But that doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. It's almost delusional on its own. It's already fucking painful. So let's just, you know, bring on that pain for others. So basically for this Four of Wands, we've got Four of Wands, Eight of Swords are both in reverse. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of things here that are not structured. They're not stable. She is feeling all of these things among this struggle of what has happened and the things that are not actually being attended or seen. It's just like, you're in trouble and you're in trouble because we cannot do anything about this dead person. So we're going to fucking fixate on this shit. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm just like, I feel like she feels like it's very, there's no predictions here. She feels like kind of in the wind, flapping around, just not really knowing what the fuck to do. She might be more aware of what's going on than what people are actually seeing. It's like, y'all think you know what the fuck is up and you don't because you weren't fucking there and you're not connected to these people. I just really have to say. All right, we're going to find out how she's seeing herself right now. She definitely sees herself as changed. She's always seen herself as somebody who would leap, you know, and, you know, again, she leads with that heart mind. So the Fool's very much confirming to me that, yes, she's kind of one of those like, almost like innocently naive types, just kind of like walking around completely not riddled with society's fuck ups. And she's just, I'll take a leap of faith. I'll do it. I'll do it. She still feels this way. She still feels like she would just jump at a chance to get into a place where she was stronger and she had more charisma and she was in more of a place where she could, you know, get into her creative stuff and, you know, show people her ambitions and her craft and where she could really fuel some things here. That's how she feels. Let's find out how we see her for the world, the fans, whomever's watching her. Nine of Pentacles, Six of Swords. So there is some sort of just kind of in the past, people definitely had seen her as logical, very sensible. There wasn't like the movement or any action towards anything that she did. It made sense. There was a clarity. It was like she communicated perfectly. They also seen her as very accomplished almost. very comfortable and safe. Like she was a safe person to, you know, be a fan of, or, you know, to watch. There was like a sensible thing, but there's also like, you know, you guys all probably seen the ego stuff too. There was a little bit of this outer situation that was very important to her. And those are things that you definitely were seeing if you were watching her. We're going to find out about love. She's in recuperation. She's trying to heal herself. So love is not like something that she's even able to like learn how to invent at the moment. She doesn't even have the capabilities of being, you know, clear, precise, have a rational enough mind to be in a relationship. She would definitely have to learn how to get back into loving passion. You know, she would have to learn how to reestablish and get into a relationship. That's just not where she is. She's not in that stability yet. She's recuperating, she's healing, she's taking care of herself. She's trying to find structure, honey, structure. Health-wise, she's dealing with some trauma. Spiritually, she's dealing with that trauma. She's trying to find, you know, a clear sense of why and what, and, you know, really get into a space where she can feel whole again. She's trying to get into that content place. She does feel a little revengeful. She feels those things. She has a sense of like, I would like to get back at these fuckers is what she's feeling. But, you know, that's not how you move through anything. I don't think so. The logical, most fair thing to do is to just kind of sit on the conflict, to just kind of sit on the chaos. And that's just where she's at right now. But the trauma is definitely something spiritually. She's really trying to mend something trauma-wise. Okay, finances. She's a little insecure with the money stuff. She feels like there's a loss, a big chunk, you know, of finances, of money, of coins, her money bags being poured into something else, I'm sure. But she's got the skill. She's got that magician energy that she could fucking basically pick up any kind of tool. She could, you know, twirl it around. She'll make some money. So she knows that she has the skill set to get back out there, you know, as long as the insecurity goes away. She's a little insecure, not just financially, but just, you know, mentally. Find out a likely outcome here. She does know she's got the skills though, honey. She's got the skills to make that money back. Oh, bro. The cards are just so weird. It's like they got a mind of their own today. Likely outcome here is that as long as she continues to look ahead, there's a whole part of her, and it just keeps looking back at all of her achievements. It's kind of her like taking a look at it, looking at something from her childhood, even just kind of like getting stuck, because it puts her into a place where she cannot like move on or get out of the cycle of it. So it really brings on these burdens of almost like a burden of no closure, no ending, no transition. But this burden really brings on, you know, that unpredictable kind of thing that she's already dealing with. So that is a likely outcome, is that she's going to continue to deal with that sort of thing, especially because of, you know, an obsession. She's creating this obsession or something that she holds herself to. And that could be the past. And that could be, you know, to things that are no longer here. That could also be to a habit, a drug habit. That could also be a part of this, you know, upcoming ahead within the next few months. So there is definitely, this Devil card is indicating to me that yes, there could be a suggestion that she does continue to stay tied to that habit, to an addiction. And the addiction could be, again, it could be drugs, it could be video games, it could be, you know, coffee, it could be cigarettes. I don't know, however this resonates. It could even be being stuck in the past or not being present. But her likely outcome is pretty rough for the next few months. So, I mean, she's looking at a lot of conflict, burden. She's looking at a lot of memories, going over it back and forth. And that, yes, that's definitely going to bring up this Devil card. That's definitely going to bring up habits, obsession, you know, locking yourself down into a really fucked up place when you could, you know, use your magician energy and you could thrive. But I mean, I don't see a sense of thriving as of right now. It looks a little bit bleak today. Hopefully we could do our tarot reading within a few weeks and just kind of maybe get a different sense of what's going on. Maybe things will change up. But as of right now, things are not. It's almost like she'd rather just like sleep. I don't blame her. All right. Please go ahead and hit subscribe. Sorry to depress you for the day. Go ahead and hit subscribe to Hangman Tarot. When you do that, go ahead and click the bell. When you click the bell, you're going to receive notifications that I am live or I'm uploading or any of your future tarot card readings at Hangman Tarot. Share, like, and follow. Please get the word out on your social media about Hangman Tarot, and so we can add even more subscribers to add more requests for your celebrities. Other than that, enjoy this beautiful, beautiful white snowy Sunday. See you later.